Hello, this is Inside the Press Box with Sunil Sunder Raj for the Everyday Fan Sports. I'm happy to be speaking with New Jersey Jackals catcher Jason Agresti. Jason, thank you so much for taking some time out to speak with me this morning. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Sunil.
Hey, congrats, Jason. I mean, so far this year, the 2021 Frontier League for the Jackals, the team is 16 and 11. Personally, hitting 366, I think third in the Frontier League, 3 homers, 18 RBIs, 18 runs scored, 30 hits, 7 doubles, a 561 slugging percentage, and a 457 on base. Um, I mean, can you talk about this start? I mean, getting off to this type of hot start. I mean, you gotta feel good, you feeling really good at the plate, Jason.
Yeah, no, definitely feeling good. I'm not trying to worry about the overall product though. Pretty much taking it day by day, at bat by at bat. If you start looking at or start worrying about the final product, it's gonna, drive your head insane. So if you
Yeah,
take it piece by piece and just at bat by at bat, not get too, overwhelmed by anything, not trying to do too much at the plate. It just really simplifies things. So that's really my approach this year, and it's been working. So, going forward, that's going to be what I'm doing. You
yeah.
know,
Hey, first year in the Frontier League, Jason. After last year, you played in an All-American Baseball Challenge, and you did very well there. I mean, 21 games, 320, 1 homer, 12 RBIs, 24 hits, 12 runs scored. I'm wondering, just as far as training and your approach, to this first season, if you can talk about the level of competition in the Frontier League as well, Jason.
well, I mean, in terms of training, like I was just talking about, just trying to take things, piece by piece, not get too overwhelmed. Um, hitting such a mental thing as well, and maybe even more than just the physical aspect. So in terms of training, you want to also challenge your mind, get off, work on the tee, work on BP and whatnot, but also see some machines, see as much, game like situations that you can. I think that's a great way to, replicate, a pitcher thrown to you without an actual pitcher thrown to you. So that's kind of been my approach with my off-season training and whatnot. In terms of the Frontier competition level, it's very similar to the Can-Am.
Yeah.
I mean, one thing that sticks out off the bat in the first, month or so is you obviously have a lot more rookies. It feels like a younger league than the Can-Am.
Mhm.
The Can-Am had a lot of experienced guys. You didn't have a cap on, how many experienced players and veterans you could have. Obviously, in the Frontier League now, you need, I think, 10 rookies on the roster. Back in the Can-Am, you needed like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
So, it's definitely a younger league, but the competition's great. You got a lot of talented players, a lot of talented arms. So it's been nothing but positive so far.
That's wonderful. I wanted to ask you about this team. It said 16 and 11 um, in the Northeast Division. It said, I think, about a game and a half back behind the Sussex County Miners. Uh, this team, this lineup is dynamic. I mean, hitting 289, I think, is overall batting average, 167 runs, 260 hits, 57 doubles, 26 homers, and 152 RBIs. Some of the guys, there's Russ Olive, I think, who's hitting 344. You got Santiago Torino, Todd Isaacs, and 7 games only with the team is hitting over 400. Jason, yeah, Stanley Espinal and Dalton Combs. Can you talk about just this overall lineup? I mean, producing, said on a daily basis.
Yeah, I mean, our lineup is, I think, as dynamic of a lineup that I've ever been in. I mean, there's no easy out 1 through 9. Anybody can put the ball out of the ballpark. I mean, it's truly impressive, and I think it's really kept us in a lot of games and won us a lot of games.
Yeah,
I think one thing that's got to get figured out for us is just, our starting pitching. Our starting pitching has been a little shaky as of recent, but I think guys are coming around. I think guys are accepting their roles, and I think that we're going to start turning that around. But if we can figure that out along with our lineup, it's a very scary team.
yeah. Hey, talk about playing at Yogi Berra Stadium, and then of course our manager Brooks Carey, Jason.
I mean, love playing at Yogi Berra. We got, I think one of our most electric nights is definitely the Thirsty Thursdays nights. We get a pretty rowdy crowd, and that's
Yeah,
that's a ton of fun.
yeah,
It's definitely a good environment. And then playing for Brooks is just it's incredible. I love playing for the guy. He's a great manager, great game manager, great person. So it's nothing but positive there.
that's great. I wanted to ask you. I said you've played in the Can-Am League, and I said the first time around, you played for Rockland, but then that 2018, but 2019 for the Jackals. I mean, you said hit pretty well there. I said were able to contribute. I'm wondering what you learned between 2018 and then, of course, that first year with the Jackals as well. In the Can-Am League, Jason.
Well, I mean, 2018, I graduated college in end of May, early June, and then got signed to Rockland probably a
Yeah.
week or two after that. So, I mean, that 2018 season, I got a decent amount of reps in, and that was really, getting acclimated to the differences between college baseball and pro baseball. There are a ton of differences. I can't even I can list a few. Just everyday preparation. You're playing every day. You're not going to classes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just baseball is now your job, and that takes a little bit of getting used to. Um, and then coming into 2019, I already had half, three quarters of a season under my belt, so I felt more comfortable. Still had to win a job here in Jersey.
Yeah.
Got off to a slow start with the bat, but I turned that around and then won the everyday catching job, and then we won a championship that year. I mean, 2019 is a year I'll never forget. It was a blast, ton of fun, and we had a great team as well.
Hey, we talked about it before we came on the air. I mean, the battles, between the Boulders and Jackals, but you developed a nice rivalry with the Sussex County Miners as well. I mean, so what I think a couple of years ago, teams battled in the championship series. Can you talk about playing against the Miners as well, and just I said, hold on, sorry about that. With with the Frontier League as well, you've got now to play some teams, from some of the other divisions as well. But can you talk about playing the Miners, Jason?
Well, I mean, Sussex is obviously just like the Boulders. They're pretty close to us. We're about 40-45 minute drive. So it's a close rivalry. We play each other so many times throughout a season. So, you get very familiar with the guys, their lineup, their pitching staff. So, I mean, I feel like whenever you play teams that often, there does just develop naturally this competitive nature that, I mean, we're all competitors out there. So this rivalry builds, and it's fun to compete in. But yeah, they're a great team. They got a good team going this year. We've only played them twice, I believe, so far. But come in July, I think we play them, a series week. So we'll definitely be seeing more of them.
Hey, talk about playing that. It's such a condensed schedule when you think about it, Jason. 96 games in a span of 4.5 months, not even 5 months. I'm talking about that. The rigors of playing. I mean, you're playing 6 out of 7 days. You get that Monday off, but can you talk about that grueling stretch and how you keep yourself, said again, mentally and physically, sharp, throughout the course of a season?
Yeah, and it's definitely a grind. I think it's 96 games in just about 4 months.
Yeah.
It takes a little bit of getting used to, but probably about 2 weeks in, you start hitting a stride and you find your routine.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just it's pretty much that, finding your everyday routine, getting comfortable with it. And then, I mean, to go back to what I talked about in the beginning, taking it day by day.
Mm-hmm.
If you start getting worried about the grind, you start worrying about what's coming in the future, then you can lose your mind. So it's really just taking it day by day, sticking to your routine, and not getting carried away with it.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, being playing, I said the catcher role, and also you've been a DH as well, but Talk about that. Some of the again, some of the things that go into playing, being a catcher. There's quite a bit of responsibility there. So with the pitching staff, can you just dive into that as well, Jason?
Yeah. So, I mean, being the everyday catcher, it's a definitely a wear on your body.
Hmm.
You feel it day in and day out. But I mean, like I was just talking about, finding an everyday routine
Yeah,
where as sore as you are or as banged up as you are,
yeah,
you go through whatever process that you have to go through to get your mind and your body right for the 9 games that night, or sorry, that 9 inning game, day in and day out. So I mean, it definitely takes a toll on you, but Brooks is pretty good about, if you need an off day,
yeah.
then you'll get that off day to get your body right. Um, but yeah, it takes a toll, but you can't worry about the big picture at that point. You kind of just got to take it game by game
Yeah.
and get it figured out.
Yeah. Something popped into my head, Jason, about team chemistry. Like, I said before, training camp, and then as head into the regular season now, here, road trips. I'm wondering, take everyone behind the scenes, just as far as, because that's important for a team, as I said, to be on the same page, as you said, 96 games in, about 4 months. I'm just wondering about this team, what makes it so special? I know we're still early in, but, just, again, I think you've been, you being a seasoned vet, just can you describe that?
Well, this team right now, we kind of gelled, in spring training. It kind of feels like we got just a really good group of guys.
Yeah,
Talk about Chirino, Marte,
yeah,
Russ Olive, Dalton Combs, Stanley Espinal, Todd Isaacs, Demetrius.
yeah,
Just really good group of guys. And not a lot of egos on the team, which is really nice.
yeah,
You don't have to, worry about like any of that, behind the scenes stuff going on.
yeah,
I mean, when you're with each other day in and day out, it's tough. When you're dealing with the same people every
yeah.
day, it could potentially, take a toll on you. But with
Yeah,
this team, I don't see that happening.
that's great. Yeah, what
Like I
it's
was saying,
yeah,
just a ton of great guys,
yeah,
just a ton of great guys, and they're easy to deal with, and they're fun to be around.
yeah, that's fantastic. I wanted to take it back. I got a couple more. Can't thank you enough for the time, Jason. Definitely
Mhm.
Binghamton University. What you were able to do there, as far as during the course of your 4 years there, especially your senior year, I said you were able to definitely, you started all 45 games there. Can you talk about your time there? I said the stats you were able to put up, and you were not only able to do it on the field, but off the field as well, academically too. Can you talk about your time there?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Binghamton was definitely a special place. Met a lot of great people there. Friends for life, relationships for life. Um, my teammates are some of the best friends that I'll ever have. Um, my coaching staff over there with Coach Ryan Herba, Skipper, Tim Sinicki, Mike Foley, Foles. Um, I think they're arguably like the best coaching staff in the country. What they can do over there year in and year out by not just producing ball players, but also
Hmm.
producing, men.
Yeah,
They do a great job of developing you as a person, on and off the field, making sure you get your grades up, make sure you're on top of your schoolwork. Um, so I think that's what, and not just the baseball player, but also person. And I can't speak highly enough of that school. I think it's a great place. I would recommend anybody to take a look at it that wants to play ball. I mean, it truly is. It's a great place, and I'll never trade that experience for anything.
hey, a couple accolades I wanted to point out at Binghamton. Senior year, the Jake Pitler Award winner for career leadership and achievement. I mean, what did that mean to you, Jason?
I mean, like, quite honestly, I going into that, like the award ceremony, I wasn't expecting anything. I didn't,
Yeah,
need an award,
yeah,
or I didn't need any of that stuff. It's a nice thing to say that I have. I was honored to get it,
yeah,
but I had such a great time there. I just tried to bring the same leadership and energy to games and practices, and be a leader, not just vocally, but also through my actions. I want to lead by example. I mean, one of my idols is Derek Jeter, and I mean that dude. If he doesn't embody leading by example, I don't know who does.
yeah.
So that's kind of just what I try to do day in and day out, and I was fortunate enough to be honored with that award. But like I said, I didn't need any of the I didn't need any of the awards. I was honored, but that's not what I was trying to go for. That wasn't one of my goals.
One of the things that stood out looking at your stats, Jason, during your time there in college is that at Binghamton is that your durability on the field. I mean, the amount of games you were able to start, as said and play in was just outstanding, and how many multi-hit games. But I'm sure one memorable moment that really sticks out to you. I think sophomore year, hitting a walk-off home run against Hartford. I said I think in the America East. I don't know if that was the America East tournament. Can you talk about how cool that was, Jason?
Yeah, I mean, that's when you look back on your career and you think about all the special moments, that's at the top of my list. To be able to come back from a 6-0 deficit in the bottom of the ninth inning,
Yeah,
and to be able to hit a walk-off grand slam in a situation like that was incredible. Um, I think it goes without saying, but it wasn't just me that did that. Our team was an incredible team. We had a great year that year back in 2016. We ended up going to the Texas A&M regional, but our lineup and our team, that's what got me in that position. And I was, if it wasn't me that hit that walk off, it was going to be Paul Rufo, who was in the on deck circle. So 1 through 9, that team was just an incredible team. Yeah.
that's great. You talked about making that transition, from college ball to, pro ball, but I wanted to ask you from high school, to college. I mean, freshman year, named to the All Rookie Conference team, the second team America East. I'm wondering how when you look back, at your freshman year, what that did for you personally, and then again, you were able to, definitely, sit improve significantly as the years went by, Jason.
Yeah, I mean, my freshman year, it definitely wasn't the, you know, uh, best freshman year that anybody would
Yeah,
dream of,
yeah,
but it was a stepping stone.
yeah,
It put me in the position for further success, because I knew that I had to learn. I knew that I had to develop more. My job wasn't done. I had to be better.
yeah,
So, I took that as motivation, and worked my butt off to put together, better seasons going forward. And I think I did a fairly good job of that. But the transition from high school to college, I think, is
yeah,
actually a tougher transition than it is from college to pro ball. The speed from high school to college,
yeah,
it speeds up. So the game just speeds up so much faster. I
yeah,
mean, you think about a high school team, you got maybe 1 to 3 kids that are going to go on to the next level and play college ball.
yeah,
And in college, every single player on your roster is that 1 to 3 kids on their high school team that went to play college. So, they're all studs. And yeah, the game just kind of picks up on you, and you got to find a way to slow it down. But I would definitely say that transition is a tougher one than the college to pro ball one.
yeah. Okay, from Yorktown Heights, New York, attended Kennedy Catholic High School, and again, just amazing, what you were able to do there. I said 2 years as a captain, hitting 410, 15 homers, 125 hits, 94 RBIs. First team All New York City as a senior, 3-year All League, 2-year All Selection. When you, I know it's a while back, but when you look back at Kennedy Catholic High School, what comes to your mind, Jason?
I mean, similar to college, I made some great friends in Kennedy that all, have for life. I had a great coach and Coach Bob Fletcher that, he was, quite honestly, he was the reason why I went to Kennedy. I wanted to be in a situation where baseball was, a priority, and I knew that he took it super seriously, and that's exactly how he is. He's a very intense coach, but he pushes you to get better, and he holds you to a high standard because he knows that that's where you should be. So I mean, unfortunately, we weren't able to win a city title or a New York State title, but I actually had a unique 4 years there, because my freshman year we were in section A, or section 1 B league, and then sophomore year we were in A, and then junior year we were double A, and then senior year we were in the Catholic school league. So every year we were just in a different league, kind of working our way to that Catholic school league, because that's where ultimately Coach Fletcher wanted to be. It's playing with wood bats, not metal bats. So he felt like that was good competition to be facing. But yeah, Kennedy was a great experience. Definitely a stepping stone that put me into the person that I am today, and as well as put me on the path that I went on.
And I was reading up on the notes. I mean, 2014, you were on the MLB, team draft board, first honor student of excellence for academic achievement, recipient of the Bryce Joyce Memorial Award. I mean, it's not easy. I've always asked, athletes, whether at the high school or college level, to balance out both academics and athletics is not an easy, task, but you were able to do it. I had to ask you about that, Jason.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, one of my parents set me up for, and I've ingrained in my head is, as much as it to say, but academics come first. It is student athlete, not athlete student, right? But no, as much as you love being on the field and whatnot, you can't be on the field if you don't have your grades. So if you want to be on the field, you got to get your grades up. So just that, and then one of the skills that you learn along with that is time management. Time management is it's very important in being a student athlete. So if you can manage that, it's a tough skill to learn, but if you can manage that at a young age, then it sets you up for a lot of future success, because other kids don't learn it at that young of an age. So that's a huge skill to take seriously. So I mean, just pretty much that, being able to manage schoolwork as well as games and practices. It's tough, but if you can get that done, you'll have success.
No, it's well said. Again, in case it doesn't work, you have a fallback option. As far as a career. Hey, I just have a couple more. You talk support from your family. I don't want to forget that. Your parents. If you have any siblings, if just want to talk about that as well, Jason.
Yeah, I mean, my parents are probably the reason why I've had success. They've molded me into the person I am. They've given me all the what's the word I'm looking for? They've given me kind of like the direction to go on. They've given me all the support that I've needed anywhere that I wanted to go, anything I wanted to do. They were right behind me. They would, I see it right now with my younger brothers, in high school right now, going to all the Diamond Nation and the perfect game tournaments down in Georgia and all this stuff. My parents never complained about it. They would hop in the car at 5 o'clock in the morning and drive us to our 8 a.m. game at you know, wherever it was. And, you know, you never heard them complain. We would be the ones complaining because we're like, oh, we don't want to get up at, you know, 5 o'clock in the morning to do this. But I mean, they're troopers, and they're definitely the reason that I've had this success, and you know, along with my younger brother right now too.
Yeah. Hey, for you personally, Jason, what makes the game of baseball so special to play? And growing up, were there any other sports you played? But you know, when did you know that baseball, look, is you know, your true passion that's, you know, you would be good at?
I think I was about two or three, and my parents tell the story where we went to like a Hudson Valley Renegades game,
Yeah.
and you know, they weren't sure how long I would, you know, sit there and cooperate. And they said like the whole 9 innings I sat there, you know, silent, didn't really complain about anything, and just kind of watched the game. So
Yeah.
I don't remember it, but you know, I guess that was the first sign that baseball was you know, was an interest to me,
Yeah.
and a passion. And you know, I played some basketball when I was younger, and like freshman year of high school.
Yeah.
Played a little soccer when I was younger as well, just as, you know, I think I quit when I was like 10 or 11 or something like that. But yeah, baseball was always number one. There was never real competition about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the primary passion, and I think that's when it started back at that when I was 2 or 3 at that Hudson Valley Renegades game.
That's neat. All right. Final question is, what is your advice for younger kids, athletes, you know, that want, you know, one day want to be just like Jason Agresti, you want to be playing, you know, I said, you know, in
The advice, the one piece of advice would probably, you know, something along the lines like keep your head down, keep grinding. It's not going to be easy all the time. The path to success isn't a straight line. You know, it's going to be very crooked. It's going to go in a bunch of different directions. But if you keep moving forward, keep your feet moving, you're going to find success at some point. You know, it can be a grueling haul at sometimes. It can, you know, knock you down multiple times. But if you keep getting up and you don't let it take advantage of you, then success will find you.
Great. Okay, Jason, the floor is yours. If there's anything I've left out, you know, and you want to add, you know, you're more than welcome to.
I don't think I have anything. I think you touched on a lot of things. You had a wide range of going all the way back to high school. You know, touched a lot of topics.
Hey, a true honor and privilege, you know, speaking with you. I said it's been great to follow your success, you know, in the Can-Am and, you know, Frontier League, and, you know, wishing you, you said, continued success and all the best with the New Jersey Jackals, you know, this season, Jason.
Thanks, Sunil. Thanks for having me today.